Ladies and gentlemen, I am now joined by the National Player of the Year from Pepperdine University, Sahith Theegala. Sahith, how's it going?
What's going on, Olivia? How are you?
I'm doing well. Where are you quarantined? How are things? Have you been staying safe? Can you give us maybe the latest update on yourself?
Yeah, so ever since the COVID stuff hit, I've been at home pretty much. Home for me is Chino Hills, California. Haven't been doing a whole lot during quarantine. Trying to keep the game sharp, playing some golf here and there because the course has opened up maybe 2.5, 3 weeks ago. But other than that, just hanging with the family and I think doing what a lot of other people are doing, just chilling.
Awesome. We found out just weeks ago that you were awarded the Haskins Award given to the best collegiate athlete in the country. Talk
Mhm.
about that award, how excited you were when you got awarded it, and how you felt about it.
Yeah, obviously it was a huge honor. It sucks that the season got cut short, that we didn't get to see it through postseason, but just to have my name with like all the past award recipients such as Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. I mean, I still don't know if it's fully set in, like just because we're still in quarantine and things haven't started rolling yet. But it's an incredible honor just to think that I was the number one player in the country. That's not something that I'm sure you can dream about it, but it's not really something that you can envision happening to yourself. So I'm still super pumped about it.
Awesome. I want to talk about how you were recruited to Pepperdine exactly. A
Mhm.
lot of people like you get highly recruited out of high school. Walk us through your recruiting process, how Michael Beard got in touch with you, and why you chose to be a Wave.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I chose Pepperdine. Obviously, the recruiting process is pretty tough, especially with college golf. There's a lot of coaches that are out there, and sometimes I feel like it's tough to focus in on what you're looking for. But funny enough, I kind of knew after my first visit to Pepperdine that this was going to be my place, and the second visit definitely reassured that. I know Coach Beard started following me. I don't know exactly when, but when I was pretty young, like he was one of the first coaches, if not the first coach, to be out there following me. And he made a conceited effort to show up to a lot of the bigger tournaments that I was playing with, along with the assistant coach at the time, who was Carl Smith. So those two came out and recruited me a lot, which just consisted of saying, "Hey, what's up?" and then watching me play the round because obviously the recruiting rules for the NCAA are pretty strict, so you can't. There's not a lot of conversation really going on. But my first unofficial visit was great, and then the second one was kind of where I figured I was going to go to Pepperdine, and it was really a combination of things for me. It was academics is something that was super important to me, and I know Pepperdine is a very good school academically, and the small classes really appealed to me. I feel like if I was going to go to college, even though that golf is what I want to do after, I still wanted to get as much education as possible, and I felt like Pepperdine was the place to do it. And looking back at it now, I can it met, if not exceeded, my expectations. So that was a big part of why I chose Pepperdine. And then obviously the coaches. I heard so many good things about Coach Beard and Coach Carl Smith at the time that literally everybody only had good things to say about them. And I kind of saw the vision that Coach Beard had that, would lead us from a program that was ranked, I don't know, 85, 90 at the time I came on board to, number one this year. And then the last thing is probably just the atmosphere and the people at Pepperdine. Ever since my first visit, it just seemed like the people at Pepperdine had a special aura about them. I know it might sound a little cliche, especially at Pepperdine, but everyone was super nice, and I just immediately felt welcome there. And that just seemed like the atmosphere I wanted to put myself in to, best succeed both on and off the golf course. And I've definitely made many lasting relationships that I'm never going to forget just because of Pepperdine.
Now, you mentioned Coach Beard in the years that you've been at Pepperdine has been able to bring your guys' team to number one in the country. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
with COVID, your guys' season was stopped. How disappointed were you and the guys knowing that you were part of the number one team in the country and that your season was over?
Yeah, it was brutal. Even right now, I'm still pretty bummed about it, thinking about it, because the national championship was supposed to take place. I think it's starting in a couple days, or was supposed to start in a couple days. So maybe once that passes, I'll get over it. But it definitely sucks to see all the hard work the guys and the coaches put in, just kind of, not to see a finish to that. I know it's just a 1-year thing, but people don't see from an internal standpoint that this was a 4, 5, 6-year project for the players that are leading up to this, all the hard work they put in, the coaches, all the hard work they put in, and all the athletic staff. I mean, everybody that was involved, like, they know this was such a long process and it wasn't just a 1-year thing. So I still am bummed about it, but at least we ended on top. That's some sort of consolation.
Now, as much as Pepperdine is a family place, I hear the word family brought up many times, throughout the office, at events. Your dad seemed to be a huge part of your career, always coming to tournaments, and you seem to be a family guy. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Ever since I was young, my dad would make an effort to come to tournaments. Obviously, if he had work and stuff, he couldn't make it, but he came to as many as I can, or many as he could. And the main point of it was just to go out there and support me, because golf can definitely be a lonely game. It's just you and yourself battling the elements out there. So why not have someone support you? And, he might have not always been like that when I was really young, but his attitude changed maybe when I was around middle school. Once I started getting really good, was really what inspired me to the attitude I kind of have to just go out there and have fun. That's literally the most important thing about golf. If you're not out there just having fun, and honestly, there's no point of playing it. So my dad instilled that in me from a pretty young age, and it just makes me smile every time I see my dad or someone in my family out there supporting me, because they're going out of their way to help me reach where I want to be with my dreams and goals.
Your team seems to be a very close-knit group. I've been to many of your guys' local tournaments, and you guys seem to have a lot of fun, like you mentioned, which is a huge part of the game. Talk about your teammates, what the camaraderie is like amongst the team, and how much you're going to miss these guys.
Yeah, I'm going to miss them a lot for sure. I mean, there's no doubt I'm going to be hanging around these guys the next couple of years. I'll be back at Pepperdine, and whether it is play with them or just hang out with them, but I'm going to miss it a lot, especially this year. It was the most competitive team that I've ever been on. The best part was we were really able to separate our on-course stuff with our off-course stuff. Off the course, we're not dwelling on what happened on the golf course, and I think that helped us enjoy off the golf course more. But again, going back to the competitive thing, we all just pushed ourselves as hard as we could. It was very easy to just kind of look at our ranking and look at how good our players were and just be like, okay, we're already number one. We don't need to get anywhere or push ourselves any harder. But on a daily basis, we just all wanted to beat each other really bad. Obviously we knew that we're on the same team and all that, but I think just having that attitude really pushed us to the next level. And again, that helped us with our attitudes off the golf course as well.
Awesome. Now, this is a very weird time. I know golf courses have slowly begun to open up. Talk about what you've been doing in your off time. I know you mentioned you were in Dallas last week. How have you been maintaining your golf, and walk us through exactly what you've been doing? Yeah.
So I'd say the first month or so of the COVID stuff, a lot of the golf courses shut down. So I actually set up a net in my backyard just so I could swing some golf balls into that, just to keep my body loose and stuff like that. And I'd putt and chip around the house. But other than that, I really wasn't doing much, just staying at home with my family. And then golf courses started to slowly reopen. Practice facilities are still not open in the courses I play over here. So just going out and playing. And luckily enough, I was invited to a tournament last week in Dallas that a bunch of really good professionals and top amateurs were invited to play. And that was awesome, because it was the first tournament that I played in over 2 months. And just to get the competitive juices flowing again, that was awesome. And also it was good to shake off a little bit of rust, hopefully for the tournaments that are going to be coming up here in the summer. But other than that, I haven't, some other states have been pretty open, and such as Dallas, it just seemed very relaxed over there. And I know I talked to some guys there, and they've been practicing all throughout this whole COVID thing. So I knew I had a little bit of catching up to do there. But now that stuff is slowly starting to reopen again, I think I'll be able to get back on my regular practice regimen.
Awesome. Now, you recently made the decision to not come back to Pepperdine. Walk us through that process. What exactly is next for you?
Yeah. So I at the end of this year, I always figured I was going to go professional. I just felt like I was ready. Obviously, the circumstances are really tough, and it definitely made me rethink about it again. But obviously, it was my 5th year last year. And I feel like, especially getting the Haskins Award, I feel like I'm going to get some opportunities this summer to play in some professional events. Hopefully 3 or 4 PGA Tour events maybe this summer, along with some mini tour stuff and stuff like that. And the deal was pretty much, if I wasn't going to get into any of those, all the qualifying schools were canceled for this coming year. So if that was the case, then I would have seriously considered going back to school. But because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some opportunities to play in the summer and even in the fall. That's pretty much why I think I'm going to go professional, and that's what I'm looking forward to now. It's still a little bit of a waiting game because a lot of these tournaments are trying to figure out, COVID related stuff. So stuff like exemptions for the college guys aren't exactly on the top of their list. So I'm not going to find out till a little bit later down the road, I think.
Awesome. Now, final question for you, Sahith. Looking back at all the memories, all the golf, all the practices, all the people, the coaches, the student athletes that you've had the chance to get to know and, be a part of this family here at Pepperdine, what are you going to take away from your time as a Wave, and how proud are you to be wearing the navy and orange for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I'm going to be super proud repping the Waves for the rest of my life. Pretty much all the memories I've had with all the other student athletes and students and athletic staff in general, have all been super positive. And I have no doubt that, what makes Pepperdine special is maybe some other schools, the top athletes there, I don't know if they really get a close relationship with the guys the guys and girls that they've been around. But at Pepperdine, I think I've really gotten the opportunity to get close with a lot of people around me. And I think that's something that I'll take on with the rest of my life. And I know for a fact that I'm going to stay in contact with all these people and hopefully get some reunion stuff going on and stuff like that. So I'm super pumped to be repping the P Waves for the rest of my life.
Well, thank you so much, Sahith, for your time. I know here at Pepperdine, we wish you all the best, continued support, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you in the pros and watching you on TV.
Sounds good, Olivia. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.